brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today. Anna is with us in Dallas. Hi, Anna. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi.
Hi, what's up?
So I do not need to get a car loan, but I want to get one so that I could build a good credit line, and I was just wondering what you would suggest.
How old are you, Anna?
I just turned 20.
Okay.
Why do you think it's important for you to build a good line of credit? What do you plan to do with that?
Good credit score.
I have somewhat of a credit score just from I have kept up with credit cards and such. I only have 2, and my credit score isn't great, but I do plan on buying a house so that I can rent it, maybe a duplex or even building a duplex since I am in that industry. And I do plan on renting it out to people so that they can pay for the mortgage.
Okay.
What do you do in the real estate industry?
I am an architectural designer for a custom home builder.
Okay.
Very cool. So all the talk about the credit score. So the ultimate use for you is you're wanting to buy a house. We actually teach a way that you can buy a house without a credit score, which is a safer way to deal with money in general because you're not having to enter into debt in order to do the things that you want to do. You're not having to put the risk of debt on your life and that stress in your life in order to do the things that you want to do. So I would say to you that if you have the money to buy a car in cash, buy the car in cash or save up until you can. The idea of building up a credit score, and when you really look at what a credit score is, it's simply how you interact with debt, how long you've had debt, how much debt you've had, what percentage of debt that you're using. That's all that they're looking at. They're not looking to see if a person can actually manage the money that they have in their bank account, in their pocket. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. So what would you recommend for someone, like in my instance, it's a smaller bank, so it's kind of more personal-ish. What would you recommend? Because I know that I do plan on developing and then building my own spec homes in the future. So I kind of want a relationship with them. If not, I would have to get in touch with some investors that I know of.
Let's talk about one goal at a time. Because right now you're like, I want to do this, I want to do that. And I love the idea that you have goals going towards the future. But your first thought is, ultimately, how can I get the house that I want to get? That was your first question. And so my thing is I'm going to teach you how to do it without a credit score. So I would contact Churchill Mortgage when the time comes.
Let's get that house, and let's get you living in a house that you own before we start talking about doing a spec house at 20 years old.
Right. First things first.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So I actually plan to live at home until I'm married, just to be more traditional, because I do plan on getting married pretty soon. Don't plan on having any bills, really, until I get the car, if I do it on a car loan.
So I think that you should pay cash for the car. That's
because
thing one.
You understand you don't need a credit score to buy a house.
You don't
understand
need it.
that? You've been lied to. You understand that?
It's called manual underwriting. I did it. Dr. John Deloney did it. George Camel did it. We've all done it. So it's not just a theory. It's manual underwriting. And all they're doing, you're walking through a lot of the same processes. They're just looking at your actual money, how much income you have coming in, as opposed to your debt. That's the only difference. So if I'm you, I'm buying my car in cash simply because I need a car. And then if you have any other debt, I'm clearing it up. Go ahead, while you're living with your parents, save up 3 to 6 months of expenses, not for your expenses at the moment, but what you think they will be once you move out of the house. So you've got that ready.
Moving out of the house and living in an apartment will actually help you get the house.
It will. That's right.
Though.
And here's the thing.
Because they're not going to count your income like you count it, because they're not going to count people that have zero expenses, because that doesn't exist in the real world. And so, go ahead and setting up your life as a young woman, independent woman, is not a bad thing. It's not an immoral thing either, by the way. But it does cost more money, and you'll have your own space, your own place. And I think that's the direction I would go.